With the rise of the NIL, pay for play, and transfer portal age, where you can just get anyone from anywhere really to transfer over to your school, many people have thought that high school recruiting is, going to take a back seat. It doesn't really matter anymore. You can just use the portal and win, win, win. You don't need to recruit out of high school typically anymore. It's more of a luxury. Well, in this 2026 cycle, what has been playing out is exactly the opposite. Teams need high school recruits, and high school recruits are being valued now more than ever, in my opinion. So, in this video, we take stock of which teams are hot on the recruiting trail, be it the likes of Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon. We talk about all those teams and much more. Plus, I have my hottest teams ranked from least to greatest as we go through the video. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Continue to watch, and let's just dive right in. So let's start off here talking about the U. Let's go to Miami. And Miami, according to 24/7 Sports, I'll be using them for the whole video, has the number 8 overall ranking, number 1 in the ACC. They're just beating out Clemson, who is one spot behind them. But hey, they're getting it where it counts, They have 20 hard commits so far, and the main one being Jackson Cantwell. Cantwell, the number 10th overall player in the country, number 1 in the state of Missouri, and the third best tackle in this class. He's a stud. He's top 3. He's won on a lot of boards. He was one fluctuating throughout all of last season. He's one of those players who is if you get him, you know that your program is heading on an elite track, and it was really good. When I saw that for Miami, I really liked it for Miami because Miami's been one of those teams that's been like, they're kind of a B plus type of team. They're not the U of the past, but they're certainly not, a doormat. They're certainly still a blue blood. They're still one of these things. But a commit like Jackson Cantwell really is like, oh, you want to become a perennial top 10 team. You want to be in that conversation every single year. And Miami's got the money, so why not go and use it? So I really like that pick up there for the U. And my other comment here is that this class really is one of those classes that's well-rounded. Their top 3 players is a tackle, a tight end, and a wide receiver. And then if you go down the top 10 recruits, they have 2 corners, a linebacker, an athlete who can play multiple positions, and a couple defensive linemen. So I really like how this class has rounded out. I highlight Israel Briggs, the tight end, who's really good, one of the top tight ends in the nation, top 6 at his position, and they got a speedy wide receiver, Vance Spafford, out of California. When you are in Florida and you can reach over into California and 2 of your top 3 players are out of California, and you're doing it right because Briggs is from California. I forgot to mention that, and Spafford is from California. Speedy wide receiver, 12th at his position, top 125. He's 124th. So I think that I really do like this class that's being put together by Miami. Up next, I want to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes and their recruiting class. But first, I want to say really quick, because I forgot to mention it before, the number 9 rank that you see right there, it is my subjective ranking of these classes. Basically, I took all these classes and I picked out my 10 favorites, really. So, yeah, there's no Clemson, even though Clemson is in the top 10, because I didn't like their class as much as some of the other ones, as you'll see throughout the video. And like Ohio State, they have the number 6 overall rank, but they're 9th in my ranking because it's a completely subjective rank, and that's how I decided to do it. I think there's some merit to it, but take it as you will. Okay, so let's go back to talking about Ohio State. Ohio State, in my opinion, this isn't really their typical class for the Buckeyes, but I still think it's pretty good. When I say that, we're used to them being 1, 2, or 3 really throughout all these years, getting many 5 stars, and it just doesn't seem that way. Chris Henry Jr., their spotlight player, was a 5-star for a point in time. Now, according to 24/7 Sports, he's a 4-star. either way, he's a very high ranked player, and he will go in there probably making an instant impact, probably because that's what all their wide receivers do. But besides from that, I really like how they are locking down the state of Ohio. 8 of their 21 commits are from the state of Ohio, which is really good for the Buckeyes because there is a lot of talent in Ohio. Outside of their top 3 players, which would be Chris Henry, like I just said, Blaine Bradford, who's from Louisiana, and Caden Dixon Wyatt, who's from California. Sincere Johnson, who I have spotlighted, is from Ohio. Maxwell Riley, tackle, Ohio. And you keep going down the list, Ohio. Wide receiver, Ohio. Edge player, Ohio. So they're really locking down the state, and there's a lot of talent in the state, like I just said. So I do think that is essential for Ohio State going forward, and I really like how they're doing it. Other than that, though, it just doesn't seem like this class has the star power that it usually does, in my opinion. Up next at my number 8th most favorite class, I want to talk about the Texas Longhorns here. It may seem that they've taken a step back as their overall rank is 12th and their rank in the SEC is 5th, but this class is star-studded, and when I say that, I really do like this class. I love what they are bringing in with the 5th best quarterback in the class, 5-star out of American Heritage in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That would be Dia Bell, and he has been putting on a show recently. I've been seeing some of the highlights, some of the clips from him at the 7-on-7 stuff, and he's just been a really good quarterback, and I really like what his potential is with the Longhorns. Then you bring in another guy out of their own backyard in Texas in Jermaine Bishop, who can play all over the field. He's an athlete, and he is the number 1 athlete. I think that he is one of the top players in this class for sure. And both those guys, top 25 players in the class. So, I mean, the star talent is right there, right in front of them. Richard Wesley right there as well. He is another high 4-star. But again, it's not one of those classes that is earth-shattering, but it's a class that I really like. Next up, let's talk about a class I really, really like in the Oregon Ducks. They're number 11 overall, but it would be much higher if this was more of a talent ranking, like a power rating, so to speak, because their class is pretty small. It's only 14 players, but the players that they do have are insane, in my opinion. They have some elite ballers out there. It's 4th in the Big Ten, and it looks like it's going to stay that way because Michigan, Ohio State, and USC are that far ahead of them in terms of the composite rank. But this doesn't really have to be a big class. A lot of the previous classes were big classes where they brought in a ton of talented players, and those players will be playing early. But this is a class that they could take their time with, get the players that they wanted to. Yes, they missed out on a couple players that they wanted to, and that's why this class isn't any higher. And a lot of people, threw them under the bus and stopped worrying about them in recruiting. Meanwhile, they got some of the best players out there. The number 2 overall safety, Jet Washington, he is a top 20 player in the country. He is elite, 6'5", 200 pounds out of Bishop Gorman in Nevada, elite player. Great get for them because that safety position is pretty old. I mean, they brought in Dylan Thieneman. They have some other guys out there who are a bit older, and bringing in a guy like this, he can possibly even make an instant impact in the next year or two. And then they bring in this monster tackle, Emmanuel Iheanacho. I'm sorry if I butchered that last name, but he is a 6'5" tackle who weighs 345 pounds. So that's a lot of human, I would like to say. That's a lot of human. And he is one of the best out there. The second-ranked tackle, him and Jackson Cantwell right there with each other. And I think that he was just an elite get for them because, again, that tackle position is pretty old. So they do need to replenish that right there. Other guys they got, Kendre Harrison, who is a baller as well. He's an athlete, 6'7", by the way. Tredarian Ball, who's a running back, a top 3 running back at his position. They got another elite tackle, so they got 2 of the top 6 tackles out there. And they got several players who are best at their state. They got the best player out of New York, the best player out of Oregon, right in their backyard in Eugene. So this class has really been shaping up really nicely. And as I record here, I see the notification on my phone that corner Chauncey Kennan, 5-star corner, committed to Florida State. So, you know, I kind of expected something, but it is how it is. All right, we will continue on to Texas A&M, who is my number 6th ranked favorite class. Yes, I know what a lot of you are going to say. It's Texas A&M. They do this every year. And yeah, they do this every year. But I think that there's a little bit more merit to it because they have a guy who I really, really do like in Mike Elko at the head coaching position. Will they win a national championship in the next 2 or 3 years? Probably not. Probably, but they're just reloading and reloading. Eventually, sometimes the law of averages does come out even, and they will end up going and to a playoff or something to that effect soon. I'm rooting for him. It's just hard to root for him because they squandered so many great classes before. But this class does give me hope. I really do like this class. They're bringing in two of the top athletes at their position. Brandon Arrington, who's going to be probably the number 1 or 2 corner in this class, and he's a stud. Believe me, he was ranked as the number 1 athlete for a long time, and I think just recently he said that he's going to be playing corner at A&M, and I think that that's a great fit for him. Obviously, 6'2", long, and I think it's just a great addition here. Tristan Givens, their number 1 player. I mean, 1A, 1B with Arrington, but another athlete, another guy who's going to really succeed at the next level. And Bryce Perry Wright, who just committed a couple days ago as of recording, which is this Sunday, July the 6th. So they got that commit, I think, on the 4th from Bryce Perry White. He's the number 2 ranked defensive lineman. Great pickup for them. And then the rest of this class, they have a ton of commits. They have 24 commits, which is why they are top 3. Have the 3rd overall ranked class. So, I mean, they really have got all over the board from really everywhere. 9 players in the state of Texas, 4 in the state of Georgia, 4 in the state of California, and then just scattered everywhere else. They brought in 3 receivers, 3 from the offensive line, 4 for the defensive line, 3 for the linebackers, and 3 defensive backs. So they really have a complete class here. Really do like it. With this next one, you guys are really going to see my ranking differentiate from the overalls. The overalls are just calculated off of points. They're not calculated off of really anything from my judgment. And what I like about these different classes, I have USC ranked 5th, and really out of seemingly nowhere. I mean, they were top 25 for the past couple of years, but seemingly out of nowhere. But seemingly is not looking at the full picture. The full picture is they are now allowed to spend a lot of money. So when you look at that, this class did not come out of seemingly nowhere, but it just seems that way because of their previous rankings. They are ones across the board, number 1 ranked class in the Big Ten, overall, etc. And some of their best commits: Mark Bowman, tight end, number 1 tight end out there, 5-star, all that consensus 5-star. Pretty sure he is a stud, 6'4", 6'5", 225 pounds, really good. And then they got this tackle, man. This last of the 3 tackles we've been talking about, we had Iheanacho, Cantwell, and Pepe. The number 1 ranked tackle right now, but it fluctuates, 6'7", 320 pounds. Kenai Pepe. Sorry, I probably butchered that name. I'm sorry. But he's a great tackle as well. Top 3 tackle. Probably will fluctuate, but still. And then they really rounded out this class nicely because they have 31 commits. I mean, really the most amount of commits thus far that we've talked about. And they got 6 offensive linemen, 8 defensive linemen. They are really all in on playing the Big Ten style of ball. They got 14 commits on the line of scrimmage. That is unheard of. That's really good. And then 5 defensive backs, 3 linebackers. They're putting all their chips on the table. They know they're going to be good on offense. They took 5 wide receivers for Pete's sake, and then they took 2 running backs and a quarterback. But missing out on the number 1 ranked quarterback was huge, and we'll get to him in a second. But I still really like this class. It doesn't. I love other classes. I love other classes that we're going to be talking about soon. I really like this class. I didn't love it. Next up, we got the Georgia Bulldogs. I really, really do like this Bulldogs class. I think it was paramount that they get Jared Curtis from USC, and they did. There was a 2-way race, and they got Jared Curtis, the quarterback. We'll see if they can hang on to him. They don't have a good history of hanging on to quarterbacks, but if they can hang on to him and he can play 3 years with them, then go to the NFL, win a natty or two with them, I think that would just be huge because he is that difference maker type of player, top three quarterback in this class, and he's everything you want out of a quarterback, really. I'm not going to do big, long previews of players, but that's about as long as a preview I'll go, really. And then you look at the other players in this class, Justice Fitzpatrick, Akin Ogboko, it's just really good players across the board. And what I really do like about this class even more is that they have locked down the state of Georgia. They got 14 commits out of the state of Georgia, and they recruited pretty regionally. They got their 14 commits out of Georgia, then they got 4 commits out of Florida, 2 out of Tennessee, 2 out of North Carolina. So they're really the farthest they went outside of their state is Texas, Ohio, Michigan. So, and they got one apiece from each of those states. So they're really recruiting regionally and recruiting the best out of the region, which I really do like. It's kind of a throwback type of thing. And I mean, this class is by and large done. They got 27 commits, but that's why I said it's slowing down now. But I really do like this class. I really do. Okay, so we are now moving into our top 3 ranked teams here. At number 3, I have Notre Dame. I'll try and complete these 3 teams in a timely fashion because we've been here for a minute together. But Notre Dame, let's go to them. Notre Dame, every single guy they go after, they seem to be hitting. I mean, every single guy. And they've become NFLU pretty much. They got a lot of sons of former players. Most notably, they got Larry Fitzgerald's son, whose name escapes me. But really quick, let's just talk about these 3 top players. Rodney Dunham, who is one of the top edge players. He's the number 2 ranked edge player, second ranked player out of the state of North Carolina. He is huge, 6'4", 227. Probably wants to put on a little bit more weight if he wants to stay at edge, but flat out great player, 5-star rating. Joey O'Brien out of safety. Picked him right out of LaSalle College in Pennsylvania. Took him right out of the hands of Penn State, which is why Penn State's not on this list because Penn State lost a couple commits. And it wasn't very pretty for them because they had guys like Joey O'Brien locked down, and then the Irish just came in and swarmed. And he is the number 1 player in the state of Pennsylvania, top 5 safety, long safety, 6'3", 185, a guy that can really play. And then Kahari Adams, the corner, he's really good as well. And I think that this class is really shaping up well. They have a lot of sons of former players, like I just said, and I think that can really pay dividends for them. Devin Fitzgerald, that's Larry Fitzgerald's son. I'm sorry about that. I forgot his name. But that was just one example of many where they got sons of former players. They have Jerome Bettis' son on campus, I'm pretty sure, from last cycle. And I think it's a good recruiting strategy. These guys grow up around football. They live, breathe, and eat football like since day one. So it's one of those things where I really do like getting sons of former players. I think it's a good strategy. I really do like this class because they don't seem to be missing at all, and they're just taking players that they want, like the safety Joey O'Brien. Next up, number 2 ranked team, the Michigan Wolverines, and this is 100% all about momentum. Yes, they have the number 7 overall ranked class, 3rd in the Big Ten. I think they will end up surpassing Ohio State, which would make them 2nd. But this is all momentum. I mean, as I speak, they could be getting another recruit in, another 4-star or 5-star in. We got to start off with Carter Meadows out of Gonzaga Prep in D.C. That's around where I'm at, and he's a flat out baller, straight out baller, top 5 edge player, number 1 in the DMV area from my perspective. And he's just a guy who's going to come in there and probably instantly help out that Michigan defensive line. And that Michigan defensive line is known for producing some really good players. And I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want to go there. Zion Robinson, the wide receiver, much needed grab right there. Titan Davis, that defensive lineman, and even their quarterback, Brady Smeagol, who is really good. Really highly rated 4-star player, 6'5" quarterback. That's what you want your player to be, man. And they're recruiting all over the place. They're going out of Texas, Virginia, DC, Georgia, Illinois. They're they're not going too much out of their home state, but I mean they're getting tons and tons of players. Guy from Richmond, Virginia, Newberry Park, California, and the like. again, this is all about um, it's really all about momentum here because they've gotten like 6 or 7 commits in the past week, and they've just been on a tear. And I don't see it stopping very soon as well because they do have some spots to fill. They have 20 hard commits, but they could probably fill like 6 or 7 more holes, not holes, spots on that roster. And it's going to be an elite class. It is an elite class, and Jerome Moore has really taken the bull by the horns with this class. He has said, "Nuh-uh, we are going to recruit at a high level. We are Michigan, and we are going to really be the big dogs once again in recruiting." Okay, last team we're going to talk about here before we get out of here. I know I've kept you for a minute, but still, we got to go with the Bama Crimson Tide. Alabama Crimson Tide, man. They are my number one class that I just absolutely love. Fifth overall, according to 24/7 Sports, but they have the most 5 stars, and it's just a really, really good class, in my opinion, and they've been on a tear recently. So it's you combine Michigan, my thoughts on Michigan, where it's all about momentum with me, and they have great momentum right now, plus they're getting all the 5 stars, whereas Michigan's getting a lot of 4 stars and some 5 stars. Bama's getting 4 and 5 stars. They're getting a ton of them. I mean, they just got Jariah Edwards, a safety, to commit just yesterday. Or the day before. It was very recently. Xavier Griffin, the edge player, number one edge player, top 10 player in the country. Cedarian Morgan at wide receiver, top 10 wide receiver. I mean, if you're a wide receiver, you're going to LSU, Bama, or Ohio State. If you want to get in the league and you want to be a first round pick and you want to get paid, you go to those schools and they're going to pay you either way in NIL. So I don't see why you don't. That's just a side note. I'm sorry, but I just get fired up. Cedarian Morgan is a flat out baller, 6'4", 210 pounds. He's going to come in straight up and probably make an instant impact, just like Williams did. Ryan Williams did this past season. Jordan Edmonds at corner, one of the top corners out there. Him and Brandon Arrington, probably the 2 best corners. And they've got guys like Xavier Crowell, who's also a 5-star running back. I mean, this class is special in my opinion. It's special, and they've got some absolutely just flat out players that can play. 5 players out of the state of Alabama, 4 out of the state of Georgia, and 2 out of the state of Florida. So again, regional recruiting, getting all those guys. Xavier Griffin out of Georgia, Morgan out of Alabama, Edmonds out of Georgia, Dry Edwards out of Maryland, Baltimore area, and this class is really, really good. Now, they are lacking, in my opinion, where in the linebackers, they could probably add a linebacker or 2, maybe a running back, maybe a couple offensive linemen as well. So this class has room to grow, and I don't think they're going to stop. So that's it for me. This was a fun video for me to do. I'm not a recruiting expert for sure, but I really do enjoy it. I enjoy following it. I enjoy all the drama that goes into it, and I enjoy it because it's unique to the sport of college football. It really is. There's nothing like it. The draft doesn't even compare to the chaos and the madness and how fun this can be. That recruiting can be, if you follow all the major teams and all the major players. So I really like it, and I like that it's making a comeback. I really do. Thank you so much for watching. I have so much content coming out on the channel, but really quick, before we get out of here, if you do want to drop a subscribe, so just click that subscribe button. I would be really appreciative of it. We are a small channel here, just trying to grow and really expand rapidly. That would be my thoughts on that. I really want to grow this channel out. I've been making a ton of videos recently. We're going straight into team prediction videos very soon. So all these teams and many more teams, I'm planning on dropping upwards of 30 of individual team videos and then whole conference videos at the end. So I really enjoy this process. I enjoy this time of year, and I enjoy it even more if you would subscribe, comment, and like the video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.